Welcome back to the weekly headlines. I'm Kevin Hart.
I'm Mike Wimmacher.
And let's get to the news. Convicted murderer Derek Chauvin was carted off to solitary confinement earlier this week. Don't you just love that picture? The jury came back very swiftly with 3 guilty counts because when you're on video kneeling on someone's neck for 9.5 minutes while they're handcuffed, well, even OJ's lawyers couldn't spin that. No one was more upset than Tucker Carlson, who was so beside himself that Chauvin didn't get away with murder that he turned into the Joker.
So, that's more my concern. But I appreciate your coming on. Ed Gavin, thank you. Nope, done.
Don't worry, though. He calmed himself down during the commercial break by watching the Adam Toledo shooting.
The U.S. Senate passed an anti-Asian American hate crime bill earlier this week. The bill passed with a 94-1 vote. The one no vote? Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, seen here attempting to punch a rainbow in the sky for having too much color in it. Hawley said he voted no because it was too broad and mandates all this data collection and expansive categories that the federal government will collect and maintain because, if we decide to storm the Capitol again, we don't want anyone to know beforehand when we're trying to plan it.
Illinois Republicans are still upset that the party in the super minority is not having their bills up front and center. PritzkerFailed.com might not help that bipartisanship either. And they've held endless pressers about the need for their agenda. Now, Representative Tim Butler is going viral with an outburst on the floor of the Illinois House, complete with angrily throwing papers and smacking the microphone.
And our bills are being ignored. I'm sick of it!
That'll help. But on the bright side, term limits may be a possibility for the speaker soon, so you'll have your shot again in 2031, Republicans.
Earlier this week, by a 6-4 margin, the Springfield City Council voted to cap Mayor Langfelder's spending limit at $10,000, down from $50,000. The ordinance was first proposed 3 years ago, but sat dormant in committee until earlier this month. Aldermen have expressed concern about some of Langfelder's unilateral spending decisions, including a recent grant to the NAACP for repairs to a building where educational programs are offered. Now, Langfelder hasn't decided yet whether he will veto the ordinance. Wait a second. He can veto this? That's like you cutting your kid's allowance and them saying, nope, don't think so, I'm vetoing that idea.
Stained will no longer be playing at the state fair over a scheduling conflict. The fair says we will be rocking by opening night, though. There's only one band that I can think of to save us, and that we'd be able to fly on the wings of an eagle so high that you can feel happy.
And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait.
Mitch McConnell, seen here enjoying Scorpion rip out Sub-Zero's heart in the latest Mortal Kombat movie, complained earlier this week about fake news. McConnell was upset with the media's coverage of President Biden setting up a commission to research expanding the Supreme Court. McConnell said that none of the coverage mentioned that liberal justices Stephen Breyer and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, while she was alive, rejected the idea of expanding the Supreme Court. McConnell added that while we're on the topic of fake news, just because he goes to the beach once a year to lay eggs does not mean he's a turtle.
Hillary Clinton took time out of her busy schedule of drinking the blood of Trump supporters and running a satanic pizza parlor to throw some shade at Bernie Sanders on Twitter over Sanders' stance on Medicare. Clinton is still apparently salty that Sanders had the unmitigated gall to run against her and be popular. I mean, Hillary, you still won the primary. Get over it. She still thinks Sanders is the reason she lost to Trump, as opposed to, something like this.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
But who could forget this as well?
Bum 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 dang a dang dang a ding a dong ding. Caucus for Hillary.
The Village of Sherman has announced that they will be proceeding with events this summer, vowing that the pandemic will not prevent outdoor community gatherings. The community plans to hold its July 4th fireworks display again this year and has also scheduled outdoor concerts at the community amphitheater by Van Halen and Def Leppard tribute bands in July. Although the lyrics of some of the tribute band songs will be changed a bit. Def Leppard's Pour Some Sugar on Me will become Put That Vaccine in Me, and Van Halen's Panama will now be Mask for All.
Just in time for the Oscars, the only producer to make hand-smashing Scott Rudin look good by comparison, Harvey Weinstein is in the headlines again. The Vulture, the news outlet, not Weinstein, had some quotes from his lawyer saying he's not having a good time, he's going blind, and he's lost 4 teeth. You gotta think, I mean, if he loses 14 more teeth, well, that'll be one for every woman he's raped.
The Indianapolis 500 announced earlier this week that they'll be allowing 40% capacity, or approximately 135,000 fans for the race on May 30th. Mask wearing will be required and enforced throughout the track unless attendees are eating or drinking. Temperature checks will be required at the gate to receive entry. Social distancing guidelines will be instituted with fans spaced throughout the track's grandstands and enforced elsewhere. Now, the Indy 500 is not only the name of the race, but also the possible number of positive cases from it. And those are your weekly headlines. I'm Mike Wimmacher.
I'm Kevin Hart.
And we are out of here!